Welcome back to the podcast. So a few weeks ago, I released an episode and oh my gosh, you guys, the response was so huge. I got so many messages sharing that this episode sparked something so deep within you. And so many of you asked, how can I keep this feeling going? So today we are expanding on that. This is part 2 of Romanticizing your life. It's one thing to feel inspired by the idea of romanticizing your life. It is another to actually live it every single day. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Flora, certified simplification coach and 7-time author. And for over 28 years, I've been helping women like you align into a life and a business that you are wildly obsessed with by helping you clear out the 9 types of clutter keeping you from a life that you love. What are those 9 types of clutter? They are mental, spiritual, emotional, digital, financial, daily, body, process, and environmental clutter. Please like this video, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you know every single time an episode is released. Now, let's get down to the topic at hand that so many of you resonated with. Before you romanticize your life, you have to know what kind of life you're falling in love with. In part 1, and in my other video that I talked about this called The Secret to a Clutter-Free Home, Design Your Vibe, we talked about getting clear on the after, but let's revisit that from a different angle. So I want you to grab a notebook or open up Pinterest, and I want you to make a mood board or a vision board that actually captures how you want your life to look, how you want it to feel, how you want it to sound, and dare I say, how you want it to smell as well. The olfactory is massive in our brain. I've done many videos about it, especially back in the day where we talked about how sage smudging or the smell of bread or the smell of oranges or the smell of flowers can really trigger massive shifts in your brain. So I'm not going to reiterate all of that now, but I want you to think beyond the pretty pictures and think sensations when it comes to what you're actually creating in your life. What does your ideal morning smell like? What songs are playing when you cook dinner? What colors calm you? What textures or scents make you feel really grounded and really alive? Once you have that vision, you can start curating this life one tiny piece at a time. You don't have to overhaul your entire home or your routine right now. This is literally just one small thing at a time. This is like the epitome of my book, The 1 Degree Shift. One tiny shift at a time will completely, over time, overhaul your entire life the way that you want it. You can build this life one cup of coffee at a time, one slow morning at a time, and one throw pillow at a time. This is how you anchor your romanticized life into reality through these tiny moments, and those tiny moments add up to a peace and a feeling that is absolutely tangible. Now, the next thing that I want to share with you is that this romanticizing your life thing is about reflection and intention. Every time you do something, I want you to ask yourself, is this really what I actually want? When you sift through your closet every morning to get dressed, you can ask yourself, what one item out of all of my stuff doesn't really match my vibe or the life that I'm curating? Pull that one piece out. When you're making dinner, is there a pan that you hate using, but you keep holding on to it anyway, but you never use it because you hate using it? Stop for 1 second. Stop for 1 minute. Grab the pan and drop it straight into your donation box. Okay? This is how you quietly usher out the life that feels overwhelming, that feels cluttered, that feels cumbersome, that just feels disjointed and misaligned. And this is also how you make space for a life that feels meaningful, intentional, and simple. You don't need a weekend retreat to change your life. Although they're nice, you don't need that, okay? You just need the courage to pause mid-task and ask yourself, does this feel like the life that I want to live? That is where the transformation begins. Not in the plan, but in that pause. Most people try to add romance on top of chaos. They buy the candles, the bubble bath, the pretty planner, but skip the deeper work of simplifying. This is something I've seen in the 28 years that I've been helping people declutter their lives. They just try to put those Band-Aids on, and those Band-Aids never work because underneath is still the chaos. Romantic living and romanticizing your life cannot survive on top of clutter. It needs real space. So I want you to ask yourself, and this is a simple one, you are going to be like, yes, and you can usually rattle off several things right off the gate. What keeps kicking you out of your peace? Feel free to list them. What keeps kicking you out of your peace? Is it the unfinished crafting project sitting in the corner? Is it the trust paperwork that you keep meaning to complete that you're not? Is it all the returns that you have that you're like, I need to return these. I bought them a couple months ago and it's getting to the date. I need to do this. Is it the stack of books that you swear you're going to read someday, but it's just gathering dust? Name the chaos, name the clutter, and call it out. Then do something about it. Just the simple act of calling out the chaos will help you to feel more focused and intentional. If you truly want to finish that project, set your phone down, set the remote down, and give it a few focused hours. If those books that have been gathering dust were really meant to be read, again, set everything down, grab the book, and read it. Just read it. Usually within the first couple of pages, you're going to know, this is just not for me. Or, I'm so glad that I did this. Decide if you're going to read them. Decide if you're just going to let them go and donate them to someone who is actually going to read them. And that's okay. I literally just gave 2 books away. One I read once and was like, I'm going to read this again. I started to read it again. I'm like, I'm good. I have the audiobook. The second book I have on Audible as well as the physical copy. And I'm like, I really don't need this big, thick book. I'm just going to listen to it on Audible. And I put both of those in the donation bin this morning, as a matter of fact. When you call out the chaos in your life and you take action and you clear those little pockets of disruption from your life, you will start to feel a greater sense of intentionality. And you're going to feel a greater sense of purpose in your life because you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to feel it. That difference in your space when all of a sudden you start to feel a little bit more energy percolating because you're like, oh my gosh, clutter begets clutter, okay? Clutter attracts clutter. When you have clutter, more clutter happens. And when you start to usher out the chaos and usher out the clutter, you start to feel space. You start to feel that peace that comes with having space in your environment, which is massive. This is the quiet part of romanticizing your life. You turn off that background noise of the clutter, and that switches and turns into harmony, one deliberate act at a time. One of the things that I shared with you in part 1 was that my goal for my home was to feel peace in my life. But after not having peace for so long, I realized something really important. I asked myself, do I really know what peace looks like? What does it feel like What does it even sound like? I didn't know, because my life was utter bullshit and utter chaos for so long that I knew I wanted peace, but I'm like, what is that even? Like, what does it even look like? Like, how would that actually transpire in my everyday life? I didn't know. So I started to kind of play around with what peace actually looked like for me in my life and throughout my day and throughout my week and throughout my months. And every season was a little bit different because I lived in Wisconsin at that time. And it started slowly with meandering walks around the neighborhood in my new neighborhood. And I was in the middle of the country. And so I had, several acres, and the big loop was, I think, like 2 miles. And so it was a nice morning meander. And then when I got home, my feet were really tired and I was like, oh my God, there's dew. So I pulled my shoes and socks off and I started to walk through the dew-covered grass, and my feet would get numb because it was so cold there. But I was like, oh my God, this feels so good. And a lot of you might remember my live streams that I would do during those walks around my yard. If you want to, after today's video, you can go back in my videos way back there and watch some of those videos where I'm just kind of meandering around my yard. This was part of that process for me. It also looked like drinking coffee on my deck overlooking my backyard and just watching my dog run and chase squirrels and rabbits and gophers. It also looked like doing a few minutes of yoga in the morning with the sun streaming in over me in the morning, or making big meals for my boys and their friends, or having bonfires on whatever night felt fun, not just on the weekends. It also looked like enjoying mowing my 2-acre yard instead of resenting it. It looked like hanging out with my kids in their rooms while they were playing video games, or having long, slow lunches with my girlfriends. It looked like going to therapy and writing poetry and listening to audiobooks. Recognizing that I was codependent and started to go to Codependency Anonymous meetings, limiting social media, deleting Instagram and Facebook, deleting email off of my phone. Each of those things and each of these moments brought me peace. And that's the point. Your after isn't just about your home. It's about the energy that you choose to live in each and every day. It's that internal space within you that you bring into your home. So my question for you right now is this: what's one word that you want to feel in your life? Post it in the comments below. I would love to know, and I would love to support you in this. Now, some of you might still be resisting this because it feels a little indulgent, and you're telling yourself, well, I don't have time to light candles, or my life isn't as, fancy enough for all that. But this isn't about the illusion of fake luxury, okay? It's about worthiness, creating the luxury of time, of space, and of peace for you. You are allowed to enjoy what's already yours. You are allowed to feel pleasure in the ordinary. You are allowed to build a life that feels like art, whatever that is, because presence is what turns maintenance into magic. Wear the fancy perfume just because. Use the fancy plates. Toss all of the chipped dishes and use the good ones. Wear that fancy dress to lunch or for pizza on a Thursday night. This is your life. Some people never make it to the age that you are. I'm getting choked up. My mom died when she was 50 years, 9 months, and 16 days old. There was so much she didn't get a chance to do because she was waiting for the right time. Don't wait. Romanticize your life now, because this moment right here, right now, is your right time. We are never promised tomorrow. Never. You're watching these videos and listening to this channel because you want to simplify your life. chances are you've had clutter of some sort your entire life. The concept of getting a clear image of the one word that you want in your life and working toward that feeling 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, is one of the best ways to declutter your life for good. This is how we romanticize your after. It's how you begin to truly declutter your life faster and more efficiently than any other method out there. You've already posted earlier the one thing that you want to feel more of in your life. Mine was peace. What was yours? Now I want you to ask yourself, what is one thing that I can declutter today that will help bring that feeling into my day and into my life right now? Post that additional thing in the comments right now. Now, if you've been looking for someone to help you begin this process, I've opened up applications for private and group coaching where I guide you through simplifying every part of your life, one small intentional shift at a time. Together, we will clear the clutter that's been holding you back and define what you truly want to feel each day and help you finally live that vision, not someday, but now. Click the link in the description to apply today and take your first step toward that life that feels like peace, that feels like purpose, and that feels like freedom. This is your life. Give yourself permission to invest in your true happiness for the next year. I look forward to speaking with you very, very soon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, comment below, hit that notification bell so you know every single time an episode is released. And for more support and resources, click the links below. I'll see you back here tomorrow.